So in the previous video, we created a MongoDB Atlas account. So we created a cluster name. In my case, I created a cluster name programming JS 0, and I created a database and a collection. And if we go into browse collections, we click it, we're gonna see a database and a collection. The name of the database in my case is full stack, and the name of the collection is gonna be example. So this is as far as we did in the previous video, and as you can see, we have the deployment, services, security. You also have your network access, and remember that in order to connect, we're gonna be needing the user ID and the password that we generated in the previous video. So to do that, to connect our MongoDB database to our backend, we're gonna be using Mongoose. Mongoose is pretty much a JavaScript object-oriented programming library. So it's a library that creates a connection between the MongoDB database and the Node.js JavaScript. So that's pretty much what Mongoose is. And as you can see here, it's an elegant MongoDB object modeling for Node.js. Let's face it, writing MongoDB validation, casting, and business logic boilerplate is a drag, so that's why we wrote Mongoose. And what we are gonna do is we're gonna go to this folder, full stack. This is where I have the backend. I'm gonna right click, open in terminal, and I'm gonna type code space that so I can open in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this application name is full stack, and inside of the full stack we're gonna have a folder named backend. Inside of that folder we're gonna have two folders. One is gonna be named controllers, and the other is gonna be routes, as we saw in the previous video of the Express.js playlist. You can check out those videos. We also have our server.js. This is our entry point. We have our package.json. We have the scripts, and we can run it with npm. Okay, let's clean it. CLS. We can run it with npm run test, so we can run it using Node, but we can also do npm run example, and we would be using Node man. So this is as far as we did last time. Now what we want to do is we want to connect our backend to our database, our MongoDB Atlas database, specifically to this example collection, since we are using the example routes. As you can see here, example routes. So we have our get, post, put, and delete methods. So we are using also the environment variables .env. We have our port is 8000. It's in development mode right now. So now what we are gonna do, we're gonna install Mongoose. So if you go here and click on getting started, so it's gonna send us here. You can just click quick start, and we're gonna have getting started, and you just npm install Mongoose, and you can type in --save. So I'm gonna do that in the root npm install Mongoose. And as you can see, it has to be here in dependencies. So in dependencies, I don't have it. I have .env and I have Express, but I don't have Mongoose. So I'm just gonna install it from the root. Okay, so this should be quick. Okay, yeah, as you can see, it's already here. Mongoose, and the version is 7.0.3, like that. I'm gonna clean it, CLS. So we have Mongoose now. Okay, so in the backend folder, I'm gonna create a new folder named configuration, like this. Okay, so in the backend I have three folders, and the file at the server.js. So this is our entry point. And the configuration folder, I'm gonna create a file named database, like that, .js, and I'm gonna bring in Mongoose. And you do that, let me see, we have it right here. So we're gonna bring Mongoose, and you just do it const Mongoose like that, equal sign, and we're gonna require it, inside single quotes. It's gonna be Mongoose, like that. Let me see, Mongoose, require Mongoose. Okay, so what we are gonna do right now is we're gonna create a function to connect. Okay, so we're gonna go right below and we are gonna create a function. So we're gonna name it connect database, like that. And you can make it shorted or you can use another type of name, and this is going to be an asynchronous function. This is going to be an asynchronous function. So we're gonna have an arrow function here, like that. We're gonna open curly braces. Okay, so inside of the curly braces, what we are gonna do is we're gonna have a try and catch, and you can choose, as you can see from Visual Studio Code, you have 4 options. You just type try and you have 4 options. We're gonna choose the try catch. Okay, so in the try we're gonna create a constant. So it's gonna be, we're gonna be connection, like this. It's gonna be connection, and it's gonna be connection data. Let's put it like that, connection data or connection database, like that. This is connect database and this is gonna be connection database. And we're gonna await, since this is asynchronous, returns a promise. And now we're going to be using mongoose.connect, like this. Where is it? We're going to be using that. So we already brought in Mongoose, so now we're going to be connecting it. It's going to be mongoose.connect. It's going to be await and it's going to be Mongoose. Okay, as you can see, if you just type you already have it here from Visual Studio Code, Mongoose that, and we're gonna have an object that is gonna be connect. So it's gonna be like that, the first one, connect, and inside of that we're gonna be connecting our URL, and we can type inside single quotes the MongoDB and then the URL. And here we have the URL encoding. I mean, we have a URI. A uniform resource identifier is a unique sequence of characters that defines a logical or physical resource used by a web technology. So we're going to be using a URI, and to do that we're going to go first into the environment variables, and we're gonna type in mongo underscore URI, and we're going to be setting it to something. And as I show you here, a URI is a uniform resource identifier, that it is a unique sequence of characters that identifies a logical or physical resource used by web technology. So that is that from Wikipedia. And what we are going to do, we're going to go to our database, to our MongoDB, and we are going to go into, we are right now we are in collections. We're gonna go to overview. No, it was in collections. It's gonna be in metrics. It's gonna be, let me see, it's gonna be in database. Okay, you have to go into database and you have to go here into connect. So we're gonna click connect, and we have 4 options here. Connect with the MongoDB shell, connect your application, connect using MongoDB Campus, connect using Visual Studio Code. So we're gonna pick the second one, connect your application. Connect your application to your cluster using MongoDB native driver. So we're gonna click here and we're gonna copy this link, or you can copy it from here, and we are gonna go to Visual Studio Code and we're gonna paste it right here, and mongo underscore URI equal sign, and we're gonna click here. As you remember, in the previous video we created a MongoDB Atlas account with a username and a password. So this is my username, as you can see, but I have to put here, instead of angle brackets password, I will have to put my actual password. And my actual password was this. It was pretty much the same, but the number was 123, like this. So let me see. Yeah, that is the one. Okay, so I have my username, that is this one, and I have my password, but also after the .mongodb.net slash, after the slash, we're gonna put the name of our collection. And as you can see right here, if we go into browse collections, the name of our collection right now is example, so we're gonna type in example like this, and we're gonna save it. So instead of writing, as you can see here in Mongoose, instead of writing MongoDB, the whole thing, URL, we are just gonna go here into the database, here into the database file, and we're gonna type in single quotes, but we're gonna be using the environment variable. So we're gonna type in process.env, and now we're gonna be using Mongo_URI as we did in the environment variables. So process.env Mongo_URI. Okay, process. Let me see if I type it right. env.mongo_URI. So that is that. This is how we connected it. Okay, so below that, we are still in the try statement. We're gonna cancel that log, and we're gonna cancel that log, and we're gonna type in a message. So we're gonna be using backticks, and it's gonna be MongoDB connected. We're gonna be using colon, and we're gonna be using the $. We're gonna be using curly braces, and we're gonna be using the name of this function that we created, connection database. So it's gonna be connection database. And okay, so no, it's not connect, it's gonna be connection database. So make sure it's connection database, because connect database is going to be the name of the function that we are going to export. So we're going to have an object named connection, as you can see here, connection, and then we're going to have the host. So as you can just type in the dot, we're going to go below, and we're going to look for the host here like this. So that is that. We're going to save it up to this point, and now we're gonna go inside of the catch statement. So we have an error, so we are gonna cancel that error if there's an error. So it's gonna be canceled that. Okay, it's just gonna be like this, cancel error, and then we're gonna exit. So we're gonna type in process that, and it's gonna be exit, and we're gonna exit with number 1 like this. So now we just need to export it. So it's gonna be module.exports like this, and we're gonna be exporting the name of this function that is gonna be connect database like that, and we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it like that, and we're gonna go to our server.js, and we are gonna bring it. So it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be const. We're gonna bring the connect. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna bring it from require. So it's gonna be require, and it's gonna be, let me see, we're in the server, is gonna be in the configuration. So it's gonna be let me see, here. Okay, configuration. No, it's just gonna be one. So it's configuration, and it's gonna be in the database like that. Database, and it's gonna be the connection. It's gonna be connect database like that. So we're gonna be connect database. Let me see, it's gonna be connect database, and we're gonna bring it require configuration database. Okay, so we're gonna bring it from the configuration database, configuration, and now we're just gonna be calling this function. So connect database, and it's gonna be connect database, and since it's a function we have to put parentheses at the end. So let me see if this is working. So we're gonna type in npm. We can go to our package.json, and we can npm run, and we can do it with test. For example, if we do npm run test, we're gonna be using Node, but if we do npm run example, we're gonna be using Node-man. So every time we do something to our file, is gonna be keeping an eye on the update. So I'm gonna do that, starting, and a crash. Okay, so I did something wrong here. Let me see in the database. So let me see, so I have the connect database, the async, we have the try, we have the connection database, await process. Oh, I mess up here. We don't have to use the single quotes since we are using the environment variables. That is the whole reason. So let me save it. Okay, so it's working as you can see right now. MongoDB connected, and you have to see this here. As you can see, MongoDB connected. I can put, I don't know, maybe my I don't know, hello YouTube, and since I'm using Node-man and I'm not using Node, I don't have to restart. I don't have to. If I would have to use in Node, I would have to always do Control-C to restart the whole server. But since I'm using Node-man, I'm using this script example, it just keeps an eye on the update. So that is that. So yeah, let me see, we were in the database again. We're gonna go back here. So we are bringing Mongoose. Mongoose, we require it. We have this function named connect database, so it's gonna be an asynchronous function. So we're gonna open parentheses, the arrow function, curly braces. We have a try and catch statement, and since we are using Visual Studio Code makes it easier. So you just type in try and you're gonna see options. So we're gonna have this function inside of our try statement that is gonna be named connection database, and you can name it whatever you want, but sometimes you have to be careful because we have, for example, here we have the subject named connection. So by logic, you would have named connection, but that wouldn't work since we have an object here that is named connection. So keep an eye on that. So now, since we are using asynchronous functions, we are waiting for a promise. We're going to be using the await, and we're going to connect Mongoose. So, and again, if you go to the Mongoose website, the mongoose.js.com, you connect mongoose.connect, open parentheses, and if you want to put the whole URL, you have MongoDB :// and your URL. in this case, but we are using environment variables. So instead of using the single quotes as I mess up here, we don't have to use single quotes. We will have to put just process.env that mango URI or whatever you have in your environment variable. So I can just have, I don't know, just mango, for example. So if I just type mango, here would HS would be mango, not mango underscore URI. And again, the URI is a uniform resource identifier. So that is that. And what else do we have here? So yeah, after that we're gonna cancel that log, and here is where we are canceling the logging a message. So we have as you can see here, MongoDB connected, hello YouTube. So this is what you want to see here. That is proof that is working. So we have MongoDB connected, hello YouTube. This is working. Okay, or you can put MongoDB connected, database, data, you can put database, backend connected, like that. You just save it, and you don't have to Control C your server, because we are using Node, man. So MongoDB connected, database and backend connected. So now we have successfully connected our backend to our MongoDB Atlas database using Mongoose. And to do that, obviously you have to have Mongoose installed, and you do that with npm install Mongoose, and you have to see it here in your package.json. So what else we have here? So in the catch we have the catch error. We will have, if there's an error, where we just cancel error, and then we exit with one. After that we just have to export it. So you do that module.export, and you export the name of the function, and the name of the function is connect database in my case, but you can name it whatever you want. But sometimes you have to be careful, because we have objects. For example, here in this case, we had an object that is named connection. So you don't want to use connection here. You can use, I don't know, you can use connect, con, or whatever other name. So just keep an eye on that. And then once we do that, we go to our server. So this is our entry point, and we bring cons database. Let me see. Yeah, since I mess it up, because it should have just do it automatically, so I'm just gonna do it again here, and it's gonna be from first I'm gonna require it. So it's gonna be require, gonna open parentheses like this, and then config. Okay, so it's not doing it. Okay, so again I'm gonna type in connect database. Okay, so this guy, I got it here, equal sign. I'm gonna require it. Now parentheses, single quotes, and now okay, it has configuration, and then the database. So you have to put the name of the function first. Okay, so that does it automatically. So once you bring the function connect database, once you bring it from the folder configuration inside of the file database, and to the next line you wanna call in the function, and you do that with the name of the function and the parentheses. If you omit the parentheses, it's not gonna work. So if I click if I save it, it's saying just server starting on port 8000, but as you can see, it doesn't say MongoDB connected database and backend connected, so it's gonna crash at any point. So database, like that. I'm gonna save it, and it's not working. So our connection is not working up to this point, since this is a function and you have to put parentheses to call in this function. So if I put in the parentheses now, server starting on port 8000, MongoDB connected, database and backend connected. So yeah, it's working. If in your case it's still not working, so there is something called URL encoding. So If we go to the environment variables, you have to put here your username, and here you have to put your password. So let's say that your password is 123, and now you want to put the @ sign. So there's a thing, or there's a concept named URL encoding. So once we use URL encoding, you, instead of putting 123 the @ sign, you have to type 123 the %sign and then 40. So yeah, that is if you, let me see like this, if your password is 123 @sign, let's say this is your password. So the way that you would write your password, it wouldn't be this way. You have to use URL encoded, and to do that, the URL encoded for the @sign, so reserve characters after %encoding, you have to type in the %sign and then the 40. So instead of this you have to put the %sign, so, and then 40. That is the case if you are using an in your password, or if you are using, let's say your password is 123 and then I don't know, a question mark. If this is the password that you created, if you type it like this in our Mongo URI, it's not gonna work. So you have to change this question mark, and you change it using the URL encoded. Where is it? It was here. So instead of using the question mark, you have to use the %sign and then 3F. So if your password is 123 question mark, you have to use, what was it? Let me see. It was %sign 3F, like that. %sign 3F. So this is how it should work, and this is only if you are using this reserve characters after %encoding. If you are using these for your password, if you are using, let's say, the $sign, if your password is 123 and then $sign, if you type it like this in your Mongo URI in our environment variables, this is not gonna work. So you have to choose the $sign for the, we will have to change it for the %24. It's gonna be for the %24. So this is the way that you should do it. But in my case, my password is just my username plus 123. So I'm using just numbers, so I'm not using reserve characters after %encoding. So just keep that in mind. If in your case your database is not connected to your backend through Mongoose, is because maybe you use some of these characters for your password, and you have to use URL encoded. So another thing that it could be happening, if you go to your network access, you have to put let me see, you have your app services. Let me see, it was not like that. Let me go back here. Okay, so what I'm having here, you can just click in edit and add your current yeah, you could use your add current IP address, like that. You can also use it was appearing, no, you can, there's an option that you can use from anywhere. So let me see, charts, no, it was not this one. Let me see, database. If you go here into network access, so yeah, you would just go here into edit, and you would just put an add current IP address, or it's gonna be accept from anywhere. So this is another option that you have if yours is not working. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So this was a video for connecting our database to our backend using Mongoose. This is right now our folder full stack, and we are working in our backend